Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's edition of the Vinson Voice, a 30-minute magazine each week where we talk about the Department of Veterans Affairs, what we're doing here at the Carl Vinson VA Medical Center. I'm Dr. Frank Jordan, your host, and we've got an interesting show today. First up, we have Mr. Keith Griffin, who's our customer service manager here at the medical center. And Keith's here not only to talk about the customer service that we try to achieve here at the medical center, but he's very involved in the community, so we want to hear a little bit about that too. Now, Keith, you're an Air Force veteran?
That's correct.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Appreciate everything you've done and your continuing service here at the VA. Now, tell us a little bit about your experience at the VA on the team here.
I've been here at the VA for 15 years. I came here as a police officer. Love law enforcement, got a law enforcement background. In the military, I was a military police officer for the Air Force. Jumped around quite a few jobs here at the VA. Worked law enforcement. I left law enforcement. I went to the mental health side. I worked in the domiciliary. I did that for probably about 3 years. Then I left that and went to the administrative side. I was administrative officer of the day. I did that for about 4, maybe 5 years. And then until I got my current position as customer service manager. I just really enjoy the opportunity to take care of veterans. With me being a veteran myself and just seeing some of the struggles and some of the challenges, some of our veterans face as they get up in age, it's just a pleasure to be able to help them and assist them within the services that they may need.
Yeah, one of the things I like about working at the medical center is the opportunity to move to different areas, experience different opportunities while you're still serving our veterans. It's a great place to work.
That's one thing I try to mention to the younger individuals that come into VA services. I teach a class, VA 101, and one thing I tell them, the unique thing about being a employee of the Department of Veterans Affairs, you control your own destiny.
Right.
We have a career. We have what we call VALU, VA Learning University. And we also have a web engine, My Career at VA, where an employee can go in and they can pretty much dictate whatever they want to do within the VA career. You could be working EMS today, but 3-4 years down the road, you may decide to have a career in human resources, where you can go into this search engine and just type that information in, and it'll give you a guideline how to get to where you want to be, where you can one day apply for a job and possibly receive a job in human resources.
Well, you and I both came in as police officers
right.
and looked for opportunities, moved around, and it was here. It's a great place to work. There's no question about it. Now, Keith, tell me, you mentioned VA 101, so I want to let everybody know that in VA, we have a process that our secretary started called Leaders Developing Leaders, and we have different 90-day projects. Now, Keith's project, VA 101, recently was named #1 in the entire nation. He's setting the curve there, so thank you for your good work, Keith. We know how much energy you put into it. But tell us a little bit about customer service here at the medical center. What does that mean for us?
Customer service means everything to us. We are very, very fortunate to be able to serve our veterans here. And I try to share with the employees here, if you take the veterans out of the equation, we don't have a job here.
That's right.
at VA.
That's exactly
and
right.
They gave a tremendous sacrifice, by putting their life on the line to protect our freedom. So I feel like each and every employee, in my VA 101, it's a little exercise that I do. I have each employee pull out their cell phones, and I tell them, I want you to share with your neighbor a picture of the individual that means the most to you, and why are they so important to you. And most of the staff members talk about family members, and they explain to them, sometimes as a child, sometimes as a brother, maybe a sister, or maybe their spouse, and they explain why that person is so important to them. And at the end of the exercise, I tell staff members, take that same feeling that you have for your loved one, and have that feeling when we provide a service to our veterans and their family members.
Make relationships with your veterans. Make them part of your family. And for some, I tell people repeatedly, for some of our veterans here, we're the only family they have. So they have to depend on us. It's not just they depend on us for their medical needs, and they depend on us for some affection and concern, and we are their family because we're all they got. Keith, now one of the things I talk about on the show a lot, and I tell people as I'm going about town, I almost sound like a parrot because I talk about this so much, but it's a VA community. It's not just VA, it's our community partners and families and veterans themselves. Everyone, our media friends, everyone getting involved to be a team, to make a team effort to take care of our America's heroes. But the other way I push it is I tell our staff, you need to be out in your community and being involved in your community. Now, you do that, right?
I do. I'm considered a community leader. I was actually born and raised here in Dublin, Georgia. Went to high school here. Went off in the Air Force. I do a lot of volunteering. I was selected by Mayor Phil Best to serve on the Dublin Youth Council. And what the Dublin Youth Council is a council made up of youth from grades 9 through 12, and they resemble the city council. Right. And what they're doing, they're providing for the youth in our area. You know, the youth in our area, they have some unique challenges that they face each and every day. But as a community, we want to make their experience, you know, a good experience here. You know, it's easy to have such a negativity, and it's easy for a youth to turn the curve, you know, and go to, you know, join gangs and do things that we wouldn't want any of our family members or youth to be a part of. So one thing we're trying to do, we're just trying to bring a lot of positive things here for the youth. One of the things that was brought up that was interesting when we was meeting with our youth, they indicated they wish they had an outlet where they can display some of their talents. Right. You know, of course you're gonna have sports athletes, but we also have youth that may be good in dancing, may be good in singing, may be good in acting various different roles. So we're looking at some resources to see if we can put some things together where we can give them an outlet where they can showcase some of those talents to other individuals throughout our community.
There you go, give them a chance to express themselves. And one of the things I talk about VA is I'm concerned that we're not generationally promoting veterans' needs to our youth. Right. And if we don't, how are they going to grow up in a tradition that honors veterans? But that applies to a lot of different aspects of our sociality, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah. And one other thing that we did in our community, we established a summer youth program where we have volunteers. Myself and Utah Vines, we ran to the different high schools in the local community, and we was looking for volunteers to come in and volunteer in the summer. Right. And we have, to this date, we have, I want to say about 20 student volunteers from the different high schools. And what they do, they get a chance to build a relationship with the veterans, get a chance to meet the veterans. Sometimes they escort veterans to the different appointments. They may go and do small chores for the veterans and stuff, but they can build a relationship with the veterans and get that veteran's perspective. And also, you know, I tell them all the time, as they go around doing different things for our service here at the VA, also one day it may be a future employee. It could be a co-worker in the future.
That's our student leader program, so they're learning practical skills about customer service and leadership, and they're learning about the value of caring for America's heroes, right?
Yes.
Well, Keith, we appreciate you being on the show. We appreciate everything you're doing at the Department of Veterans Affairs, your service to our nation as a military person, and speaking as your boss.
Yes.
I'll let you know how much I value you, and just the things you're doing here are wonderful, and they're directly affecting our veterans' lives, and that's fantastic. So thank you for being here.
It's my pleasure.
And folks, we'll be right back with more Vinson Voice.
I'm Dale Nifong, your State Farm agent on Hillcrest. We're celebrating 14 years of service to the Dublin, Lawrence County communities. Please call us, text us, or even email us to find out what makes us different and how we can help you. We're located on Hillcrest between Dublin High School and Kroger.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Vinson Voice. Now our next segment is very dear to me and the VA because we're going to talk about the needs of homeless veterans. It's one of our crucial programs and one of our crucial focuses. We want to get our veterans off the street, and we want to get them back into the mainstream of society and give them all the support they need to do that. So to help us with that, we've got Miss Nicole Soloman here, who's our homeless coordinator. Is that right?
Yes.
Nicole, welcome to the show. I know you've been with the VA for quite a while and doing great work trying to make sure our veterans have what they need as far as avoiding homelessness, avoiding going back to homelessness, because it's hard. I don't think most people realize if you don't have an economic base, a financial base, and the support you need, it's easy to fall back into homelessness, isn't it?
Absolutely.
So why don't you tell us a little about what you do here to help keep our veterans from being homeless?
Yes. So my role, I'm the homeless coordinator for the VA hospital. So every VA has one homeless coordinator. And in my role is to find our veterans who are in need, who are homeless or at risk for being homeless, and get them connected to the services that they need.
Now I like that. we're not talking about waiting for them to come to us, right? We're going out and finding these veterans.
Right.
We have homelessness summits. We reach out to our friends in the community all over the state in our 52 counties that we cover here in Georgia. And so we're going out proactively seeking out homeless veterans, right?
Yes.
Now tell us a little bit, I know we've done a number of homeless summits. Tell us a little bit about that. And I think we've got one coming up in September, don't we?
Right. So those are the homeless stand downs.
Stand down.
Yeah,
There we go.
so those are the opportunity that we can provide direct service to the homeless. And so, yes, in September, that's our next homeless stand down. We're very excited to work with Macon, Georgia, and do a homeless stand down. And so this is an opportunity where we're actually going to go to the homeless, find out what services they need, and get them connected on the spot.
Now, when we do these stand downs, I know we have some practical things for them. We actually hand out, I believe, toiletry items, that kind of stuff. But we also, so we run the gamut because we also offer them information about available services and that kind of stuff, right? Tell us a little bit about that.
So typically for a stand down, we'll have healthcare services, so community partners and VA partners to provide health screenings, HIV testing, flu shots. Then we'll have mental health services, so we'll have our suicide prevention team there. We'll have community partners there, so in case we encounter a veteran who's not eligible for VA services, they'll still get care that day. We also have comfort items, so people will donate blankets, socks, underwear, toiletry items, soap, deodorant, lotions. We're doing it at Daybreak this year in Macon, Georgia, which is a day center in the area. So they'll be able to take showers, do their laundry. We'll have employment opportunities there. So people from Department of Labor, our community employment specialists to help them with their vocational needs. We'll have individuals who can provide haircuts that day because that might be a day that something they don't get on a regular basis. Our new vocational training center in Warner Robins will be there, Vector, to let veterans know about vocational opportunities and training that they can receive to help prevent homelessness. So we're very, very excited about the different resources that are going to come to the veterans.
Now, don't forget Vector, because we're going to have you back on another show just to talk about that. That's a fantastic opportunity. So that's comprehensive. I mean, we're really, that's fantastic. I love it because it's not just this VA partnering with our community, different aspects of our community, and then taking the practical services out to the homeless veterans and offering them long-term opportunities to fight homelessness and let us help them. That's fantastic. Now, Nicole, I've got a number here actually I've got a VA web address, va.gov/homeless, or 1-877-424-3838. And those are for our homeless veterans. If you need help, please reach out to us. Again, that's va.gov/homeless, or 1-877-424-3838. Now, do you want to add anything to that before?
Well, this is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that they will get a live person on the phone. They'll get immediate resources to get them connected to emergency shelter options, temporary financial assistance, and their names are put into a database based on what hospital they're associated with. We then, in-house, follow up with each person who's made contact and follow up with them from the incident until it's resolved. So that means whether we're going to connect them with our residential homeless program, if that's something they're looking for, referring them to the HUD-VASH program for supportive housing, if they need referrals for temporary financial assistance, because we have resources for rapid rehousing and homeless prevention through some of our community partners. So whatever we need to do to close that loop and address their homeless issues.
There's just so much available to our homeless veterans. We can just reach out to them and encourage them to do it. Because as you mentioned, we have domiciliary programs here at the Medical Center, which are residential programs that our veterans come in, participate in. We have PTSD, substance abuse, and we have a homelessness program.
Yeah.
How long is that program? Do you recall?
So the homeless program is projected for 91 days. And in that program, we address the factors that impact their homelessness. So they can have PTSD, they can have substance abuse, they can have a different type of mental health issue. Anything that's addressing their homelessness, we address it while they're in the program. Employment, we address while they're there. Benefits, help them to file their claims if they have a disability. So we're addressing all of that to resolve their homelessness and help them with regaining independent housing and live on their own in the community.
Because again, they have to have that support to get started, or how are they supposed to combat? You know, I think some of us, if we're blessed with a good job and a home and supportive family and friends, we miss that a lot of our veterans are out there and they don't have those things. And these are people who served our country, so they need that support. And it sounds like we've got a comprehensive approach to doing that. That's fantastic. Now, Nicole, I've got your email address is nicole.sanders3@va.gov. So locally, if they need to reach out to you, they can do that. Is there anything else we need to know about the homelessness programs in VA or homeless veterans that we need to put out to the folks today?
Well, one of our key means of being successful is our community partners.
That's right.
And so knowing that the VA, we can't do it by ourselves. And so we do a lot of work within the community to partner to make sure that our veterans have the services that they need. And so we participate in homeless coalitions throughout our counties. And we actually just work with Houston County to develop a new coalition for the first time ever. And so we hit our year mark in March. And so we have regained that community to work on homelessness in Houston County, which covers 4 of our 52 counties. We also are working on the Mayor's Challenge, where Mayor Best here locally in Dublin has signed on along with Albany. And so in the Mayor's Challenge, it's a commitment not just from the VA, but from the community, saying that we care about ending homelessness for all veterans, and we're going to work together to resolve it.
That is fantastic. You are doing great work, and has a real world effect of getting some of our homeless veterans into housing and changing their lives. So thank you for what you're doing.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work, and we're going to have you back. Folks, we'll be back in just a few minutes with more Vinson Voice.
Hello, my name is Shannon Knight Brantley at Atlantic South Bank in Dublin, Georgia. I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our locations. We are located on Bellevue Avenue and 441 South here in Dublin, and we also have a location in Alamo, Georgia, right on Main Street. We are 2 names, 1 bank. Atlantic South Bank is a division of Wheeler County State Bank. We have many services to offer you. We have internet banking, telephone banking, checking and savings services, and also a variety of loan services. If we can assist you with any of these services, or if we can help you with your next mortgage loan, please stop by one of our locations. Atlantic South Bank, a division of Wheeler County State Bank, member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Folks, welcome back to the Vinson Voice. Our next segment is you're going to enjoy, I think. I get a call just about every day from good people wanting to work here with us at the Carl Vinson VA Medical Center. They want to serve veterans, and they got great skills, but sometimes the putting in for a federal job is a little bit different than putting in for some other places. So there's some things you need to know. We won't call them tricks because they're not tricks. They're just ways of getting that application in, getting qualified, and we need to know about that. So we've got our HR officer, Mr. Kurt Oster, here, and he's going to answer a few questions and kind of give us some guidance on that. Kurt, welcome.
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Now, Kurt, tell us just, you're the HR manager, so what are some of the things you encounter from people who are trying to get hired, maybe having a little difficulty or don't understand the process?
Well, for VA application processes, our application is all done electronically online through usajobs.gov. So that's usually the first step is if someone has difficulty in even navigating the website for certain positions, then obviously my HR specialist in the recruitment and placement area can help answer questions on exactly what links to click on, how to search usajobs.gov to find positions that individuals are interested in or may be qualified for. But one of the biggest hurdles really is a federal application process is so much different than the private sector in a lot of ways, and the primary way is the information on your resume itself. For federal jobs, we encourage your resume to be as thorough as possible. That includes the place you worked, the years that you worked there, the approximate salary that you earned, and of course all of the duties that you performed in that position, length is not really an issue. They used to teach us in professional resume building courses to try to keep it to a page, maybe a page and a half.
Right.
That's certainly not the case for a federal application. We need to see what you've done and how it applies to the job or the position that you're applying for. How did those duties and those skills prepare you for the position that you're applying for?
Yeah, now when I talk to people about applying for federal jobs, especially here at the Medical Center, that's one of the things I point out first. You know, you may have great skills, but you may not be presenting them in a way that lets our HR specialists meet the legal requirements of qualifying you for a job. Like you said, the private sector generally says keep that resume to 1 or 2 pages, but I've seen resumes that are much longer, and they need to be, because you got to meet those basic qualifications to get in the door and get an interview and get looked at, right?
Absolutely. Some of the other areas, VA is a little bit unique. We have multiple eligibility opportunities for folks. So we have Title 38 or some non-competitive means such as Schedule A or targeted disability recruitment initiatives. And I have staff members, specific staff members who are well versed in those areas. For example, I have an HR specialist, Shari Spivey. She's our selective placement coordinator. So she can help individuals who are seeking application under those non-competitive authorities if they have a specific disability, or if they're seeking to use their veterans preference as a means of eligibility when they're on USA Jobs and they're applying for that job. Then by all means, please reach out to us before you submit that application process and well before the closing deadline. That way we can help anyone who's interested in employment.
Yeah, our HR folks here are great. They don't mind taking phone calls and talking, sit down with you, explain. And like you said, it's interesting. I'll get some folks who have some disabilities. They think, you know, can I be competitive at hey, we actually have a program because we want to get some of our folks with those types of issues in here and working with us. You have an in that you just need to take advantage of.
Right, and it's extremely inclusive, and I think that awareness is not out there as well as it needs to be, certainly in the community, and that's some of the frustration, I guess, that we receive for individuals who are competing for positions, may not know exactly just what avenues are available to them. So,
well, it's about to be out there a little better now.
Okay.
We're talking about. Another thing, going back to the resumes, I tell people it's funny how many people leave off volunteer experience and some other areas that are, it's good experience. And, and in fact, I've done some research recently just to see if I could confirm what I already knew. And you know, the business research telling us these people are leaving off great experience, this volunteer experience.
Absolutely.
I don't know why people think because they didn't get paid that, you know, for me as a hiring manager myself, when I see good volunteer experience, I'm thinking, well, not only is it good business experience, but here's a person who doesn't mind giving of themselves and being a team player, right?
Absolutely.
So they need to get all that in there.
It's the intangibles as well, but also that unpaid experience, volunteer experience certainly counts. It's creditable for qualifications. As long as we can verify it either through a resource or a reference check, then all of that counts towards eligibility or potential qualifications.
Yeah, and another thing I tell people, Kurt, is not only we want to hear about your actual experience. You know, don't be theoretical. Don't tell us what you could do. Tell us what you have done. That's what pays, because once you get through that qualification process and go for an interview, you're almost certainly going to deal with what's called performance-based interviewing.
Absolutely.
And when you do that, you're going to get a question like, tell me about a time that, and you want to be able to talk about your actual experience, not what you think you can do, right?
Correct, and how it's preparing you for that position that you're interested in.
Exactly. And so, again, they need to tailor these resumes, put in all that information. I actually suggest to people when they go on USA Jobs and look at that job announcement, there's certain qualifications that are listed. I say cut and paste those qualifications into your resume and address them specifically.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. Process used to be that you could actually address them, we call them KSAs, knowledge, skills, and abilities, in a separate document and attach that to your resume. That's no longer the case, but we certainly encourage you to answer those questions or address those skills in your resume. Identify where in your experience you've done what that announcement is asking for, and make sure you've identified that in your resume when you're applying for the position.
That's right. And I tell people to be patient also, because these jobs are very competitive in the federal government, not just at the VA, but around the federal government. A lot of people want to work for the federal government, and so you may have one position open and you may get 200, 300 applications. So it takes our HR folks a lot of time to meet the legal and ethical requirements of getting through those applications and seeing who qualifies.
Absolutely, and it's more competitive every day. Those positions are out there, and we get hundreds of applications in some cases.
That's right. And yeah, I know we've expanded our HR section tremendously over recent years, and you guys have done a lot of good work.
Thank you.
I know you work hard because I watch you up in the office every day. So are there any one piece of advice, though, that you would give someone who's looking for a job here at the Medical Center or anywhere in federal government?
Don't be afraid to call. That would probably help get past any of the questions or any of the potential hurdles or obstacles you might see in that announcement process. There's a number and a point of contact in every announcement. Mm-hmm. It may be a general HR number, but we can refer you to the specialist who's over that position, and they can answer any questions that an applicant may have. And again, I stress, make sure that if you do have questions, don't wait until it's too late. Don't wait till you push the button to submit that application, but ask us and we can help answer any questions you may have.
Personalized service, that's right.
Absolutely.
Folks, we want good people here on our team at the Carl Vinson VA Medical Center. Just help us help you. So, Kurt, I want to thank you for your time. And don't forget usajobs.gov. I'm telling you, it's a fantastic website. You can set up email alerts, particular jobs you're interested in, pay grades, whatever, all kinds of ways you can tailor that thing. And you'll get an email alert when the job comes out that you're interested in. So take advantage of it. Kurt, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you for everything you do here at the Medical Center.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Frank.
And we'll be right back with more Vinson Voice.
Landmark Cafe and Market is located in the historical skyscraper in downtown Dublin and is open Monday to Friday, 10 to 3. Enjoy freshly made specialty salads, sandwiches, paninis, and wraps, along with Landmark Cafe's delicious side items. Everything is freshly made, including an assortment of bakery goods. Landmark Cafe will provide corporate deliveries of 10 or more entrees. Call 277-0160 for your deliveries and takeouts. Enjoy a fresh and healthy meal with your friends and co-workers at Landmark Cafe and Market, located on the first floor of the historical skyscraper in downtown Dublin. We hope to see you soon.
Folks, welcome back to the Vinson Voice. We'd like to end each show with talking about some events, things that are coming up, things that are going on in the medical center. Yesterday, we had a great crowd for our new mental health groundbreaking. We're building a new mental health building out on the front lawn. That was fantastic. And then Dr. J. Roy Rowland, one of our most prominent citizens, donated a letter that President Reagan signed naming us the Carl Vinson VA Medical Center, and we put that in our front lobby. So we hope everyone will come by and take a look at that beautiful artifact. But coming up at the Leroy Rogers Center in Tifton, Georgia, we're going to have a Tifton informational fair this Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Now, we're going to combine some things there. We're going to have some info about the new Tifton Clinic. We're going to have opportunity for our veterans and other stakeholders to talk to our leadership. And we're going to have a media engagement where our media folks can come in and have some time with our leadership as well. Also in Tifton on August 31st from 1:30 p.m. to 3 p.m., we're going to have a grand opening for our new Tifton Clinic. Now, I can't tell you how enthusiastic we are about this. Been waiting a long time for that Tifton Clinic, getting a great response from our stakeholders in that area. The media down there is being wonderful to us, getting the word out, and our veterans are really enthusiastic about it. So I hope everyone will join us August 31st in Tifton at the Tifton Clinic location on Ridge Avenue North in Tifton. Also, on September 13th, we're going to have our next mental health summit. That's going to be from noon to 4:30 at the Georgia War Veterans Home at the Bird Song Recreation Complex in Milledgeville, teaming up with those folks at the Georgia War Veterans Home to get out the word about mental health services available through VA and how the Georgia Georgia Department of Veterans Service and the VA are teaming up to help our veterans who need those types of services. If you're interested, and particularly want to get our community partners involved, we're looking for people who can team up to give our veterans the mental health services they need. So you can reach out to Marla Roach at marla.roach@va.gov, and that's Marla, M-A-R-L-A, period, R-O-C-H-E, at va.gov. And always remember, you can take a tour here at the Carl Vinson VA Medical Center, whether you're just an individual or you'd like to bring a group, and particularly think about bringing those young people through to check out the history here and see what we're doing to care for America's heroes. And don't forget to get on our social media, folks. Our Facebook page at Dublin VA Medical Center, our internet site, you can just query Dublin VA Medical Center or go straight to www.dublin.va.gov, and our Twitter feed, and our handle there is @VA Dublin. Get on our social media, like what you see. That's one of the quickest ways for us to get out the word about services and programs and events. And we put some history pieces on there too that we think you'll find interesting. So get out there and share with the veterans and other folks so we can get the word out. Thank you once again for joining us for the Vinson Voice, and we'll see you next week.